Kinky, dirty, unstraight. It's hard to find your place in the world when you're not like other girls. When I look at boys, nothing. The needle doesn't move. But when I see the object of my affection, bam. It must mean something. Natasha's hair burned like a log on Christmas morning. If only she knew the magic of her locks, what her hair does to me. Today the redhead won't be on the bus, but I still look for her anyway. She's probably sleeping off a busy night. Arlette peeked over her flames from the seat behind yesterday and read her name on her college folder to me. Natasha Raven. Natasha, Natasha. That's such a lovely name. Oh, the quivering needle. She lives at number 18 Chesington Mansions. Her bedroom is a short climb to the top of the angled drain pipe by the side of the house. Slapheads, baldies, coots. We hate skinheads, Arlette and I. There's a group of them that gets on the bus at Templeton Street. They get on here each morning. Today there are only 2 of them. They seem confused as to exactly what they are too. These 2 have safety pins for earrings. The cassette box is blasting out some idiotic punk trash. The conductor is too afraid to say anything. She should make them turn off that embryonic cat screeching. We study them from the back of the top deck, our favourite spot. Sometimes they get on before us and steal our place. Now we walk 5 stops further back before getting on. It used to ruin my day when they sat in our seat, but now I get to mock them from behind. One has slightly redeeming qualities. She's growing a mohawk. I shall keep my eye on that as it progresses. Finally they get off. The labour exchange, no doubt. The coot gives me a bitchy stare as they make for the stairwell. I'm getting better at reading facial expressions. Yes, that's right. I'm sitting here at the back. We beat you to it again. You had to sit at the front like a bald-headed baby. She stares at Arlette, then at me with a disgusted look on her face. Arlette is frightened, so I hold on to her tightly until the slags have passed. Don't worry about her, Arlette. She's just a baldy. She looks stupid. My comforting words reassure her. They've gone. Normality at last. Now the good people can get upstairs, the ones with hair. Now the freaks have gone. Some normals get on at the same stop. Auburn, afro, frizzy perm. The afro looks too wiry. It makes me shudder. The thought of that Brillo scouring my skin. Ugh. Bedhead, cowlick, pigtails. Some schoolgirls. I watch them play with their plaits. So pretty. They never stay still long enough though. So much energy. The bus shelters pass by quickly as I look down on those waiting to get on. Shoulder length, scrunchy, ponytail. By the cemetery, the leggy blonde ponytail gets on our bus. She's lovely. Going to work in her office attire. I bet the men can't keep their minds off her smoothly shaved legs. What do you think, Arlette? Do you like her? Arlette looks embarrassed. She does like her. Me too. So we move up the bus to be closer. Without Arlette by my side, I'd never have the guts. Making the first move is not my strength. I'm not an extrovert by any imagining, so we approach her shyly at first and sit down at the seat behind. Choosing the right moment to engage with a beautiful woman is hard. I'm sure any man would say the same thing. They must go for exactly what I'm feeling right now. Trembling, nervous. It's even harder for a girl to approach another girl like this. Arlette watches me from the next seat as I prepare to make my move, waiting for the right time, the courage, that moment when I'm feeling brave. The moment you leap into the dark, not knowing what a reaction might be. Her fragrance is like cherries. My mind wanders for a moment, caught in that scent, imagining being in bed on a Sunday morning, smelling her hair, feeling it brush over my breasts. My hand quivers just above her shoulder. The anticipation and fear is just too much. But a faint heart never won a fair maiden, so I get brave and just go for it. There, it's done. Naturally, she doesn't notice yet. I'm good at this. I put it, the scissors and Arlette into my bag, then get off the bus. Timing is everything. If you do it just as the bus brakes, the forward momentum counteracts the weight of a missing ponytail. It's a science fact. With my bag in my hands, I walk the side streets to work, admiring my prize, a foot-long blonde ponytail. With my nose buried in my bag, the scent fills my nostrils. Cherries. Oh, so beautiful. I look forward to Sunday morning. You take care of our prize, Arlette. She will. She always does. She's my little helper. She reclines on the bed of cherries, hair only slightly darker blonde than her own. Hey, you've lost a stiletto. I search my bag for the small piece of pink plastic footwear. How careless of you, silly girl. That was a new pair of shoes. Lucia, you're late. My boss surprises me, and I take my head from my bag. I'm sorry, Mrs. Sheridan. There were some skinheads on the bus causing trouble. They had to stop and throw them off. Well, never mind. Open the garage door, please, and put the sign out, will you? Mrs. Sheridan runs a start-up hairdressing salon from the garage of her home. So far, none of her neighbours have complained to the council, but it's only a matter of time. It'll probably be some comb-over councillor wannabe that does it. Mrs. Sheridan says that by then she'll have enough saved to rent a shop in the high street. Until then, she's building a loyal clientele. I put the sign out, and the first customer arrives for her appointment. I make her tea while Rita, Mrs. Sheridan, discusses styles. Mrs. Winfield wants big hair, like a woman on an American TV show. She brought in a picture of her. I'm disappointed, but it's the fashion at the moment. So Rita backcombs it to give her an idea of the look. She looks ridiculous, like a French poodle, all puffed up. Rita then starts to work her magic. The problem with big hair is there's never any left over for me. Beehive, bleached, blow dry. The day and the customers pass. At 5 o'clock, I visit a junk shop and buy a very beautiful little girl who waves to me each night from the shop window. Some spiteful child has cut her hair very short, but it's easily fixable. She doesn't have a name yet, but we have an idea what it might be. We shall see if it fits when we have given her a new hairdo. When home, I kick off my shoes, unbutton my blouse, and take off my slacks. My knickers and bra go over the chair, and I ease myself back into my bed. That was a busy day. For a good few minutes, my body sinks into my nest. I roll around in the hair bedding, flexing my toes through the strands, pretending to swim and sinking deeper into it. The blondes, brunettes and reds brush against my naked skin. It feels fantastic against me, on the soles of my feet and my breasts. The silky, conditioned, sweet-smelling hairs brush against my body, tickling me, arousing me. Until reaching that point when I'm fully relaxed. Panting, I wait for my face to cool down before getting up to make tea. This is how I lift the turmoil of my days, a simple form of meditation. When ready, Arlette sits on my bedside table, and I take her one shoe off and place it by the lamp. Dressed in her evening wear, she then sits with me for the rest of the night as we bag up our latest prizes. They stay in airtight bags for when needed. The evening passes quickly for us as we give our new little doll a head of beautiful flame red hair. When all the strands are the same length, It's styled and trimmed into a magnificent mane. "You can be Natasha," I say to her. "Natasha Raven." Arlette looks at me strangely. "Shouldn't a raven be black-haired?" she says. She never says much, but when she speaks, she chooses her words carefully and is usually correct. "You know, I think you're right. We need some black hair, don't we?" Loose, limp, knotted. The walk to the bus stop next morning saw the usual mops. Climbing up the step at the back of the bus, we're up the twisted staircase in a second. Quickly scanning the top deck, there's a stranger in our seat, a new girl on the right and a prize at the front. Thick, bob, raven black ponytail. Little choice but to go up front and sit behind her. Like a siren, she calls. Her hair smells funny. Can't place it. Paper, disinfectant, leather, wood, and metal. While I think about it, my eyes glance at the alighting passengers. Flowing, dyed, fringe. The ponytail calls even louder. The raven-haired one is irresistible. So we check over our shoulders. The thick and the bob are looking away out of the window in deep thought, so we wait until the next stop. As the brakes begin to apply, I reach slowly into my bag and grip my fingers around the scissors. "Excuse me, miss." It's the bob. She's standing next to me. Didn't see that coming. "Yes," I say nervously. "We're going to have to ask you to get off at this stop with us." "Get off? Us?" My head darts around frantically, trying to understand. The ponytail in front of us stands up and shows me an open wallet with her photo in it. My eyes dart between them. Police. At the bus stop, Ponytail takes my bag from me. "Hey!" But my protests go unanswered. Arlette is unhappy, as she and my scissors are pulled from my bag. She starts to cry. The words blurt from my gaping mouth. "Arlette, please don't hurt her." They look at each other. "Arlette?" one says. Buzz, cropped, crew cut. The new hairdos question me at the police station. "Do you recognise the name Arlette McPherson?" they say, pushing a photograph of a baldy at me on the brilliant white table. "No. Should I?" "You don't know that name? Never heard of an Arlette?" "No, except my doll, of course." "Yes, that's quite a coincidence, your doll having the same name as an assault victim. Your doll also has unusual hair, doesn't she? Is that human hair?" "It doesn't look like fibre," says the Buzz. My eyes avert to his head. His hair is like a tennis ball. "Where is she?" "It's being examined at the moment." It's impolite to refer to her as it. "Can I have her back soon, please?" "We'll see," he says, and pushes another baldy at me. "Do you recognise her? Notice anything strange about her?" I studied the photo for an instant. "No. She has an odd facial expression, that's all. Is she confused about something?" "She's not very happy. Her name is Natasha Raven," says the pointy crew cut. "She's not very happy because she was assaulted while she slept a few nights ago." The silence in the room embraces me, and my body freezes. For a moment, I'm sure I hear Arlette crying from outside the room. I think she's afraid of something. "Someone broke into her home, through her bedroom window," Pointy says. "They drugged her with a needle and shaved off all her hair." "That's awful. I'd hate that to happen to me," I say. "I bet she had lovely hair too." You don't know anything about that, do you? I jiggle my hair. He puts a small plastic bag on the table with a letter A on it. Inside it is a pink doll's right stiletto shoe. He places an identical bag next to it with a letter B on it. Inside there is another pink doll stiletto, a left one. Do you know where we found these? He said. I give the same response. This one was on the carpet of Natasha Raven's bedroom, he said, poking his finger at the bag. This one, he started to poke the other bag, was found on your bedside table. My legs start to shake. Arlette, how could you be so careless? Buzzcut smacks the table and glares at me. Do you want to tell us about the plastic swimming pool in your bedroom filled with human hair? Rat's tails, oily, dreadlocks. I have a new job. It's a great one too, with responsibility over many girls. Girls who normally wouldn't look twice at me. Now they have to sit and pay attention to what I'm doing. Some, who would normally bully me, shake in fear as I touch them. My job has immense power, more than you would think when first told of it. It makes me feel very special. The rat's tails takes her seat. Give me a cut and blow dry, she demands with false bravado. The guard watches me turn on the razor and start to hack away at her head with it. Her mess soon detaches from her scalp in furrows. It drops off her smock and tumbles to the floor, joining the carpet of hair building from this morning alone. They won't let me take my shoes and socks off while working, but I try to remember what it feels like. It's strangely more erotic. As the hard nut watches herself in the mirror, tears well up on her bottom eyelids. She swallows hard and pretends it's not happening. See, she's not that tough. They never are when the decades of hair growth hits the floor and they take a good look at themselves as baldies. The femininity stripped away in an instant. She'll be allowed to grow it back, as long as it's regulation. They'll even allow her to have a nice style if she's good. But she'll be a regular customer of mine and will want me to do it nice for her, so she'll be polite and friendly from now on. They don't let me keep much hair, but do allow me to take a little so I can refred my dolls. When I first arrived here, I acted up until they let me keep some dolls and a little hair. Now they'll let me do almost anything. I don't hear from Arlette anymore. She testified against me at the trial. The prosecuting Whig kept waving her around at the jury. She was loving the attention. It made me sad. In many ways, it's her fault I'm here. She wanted the Raven black and did implicate me with her shoe. She should be here with me. I have new friends anyway. They keep me company in my cell, but I do miss her so much. They say I shouldn't be here, that I should be in some kind of special hospital. But I'm very happy and don't want to leave. There are lots of new things I've learned here that I never could have outside. New hobbies and interests. For instance, I found there is nothing more fulfilling than running your fingers through the strands of an unwilling, quivering and terrified head of hair. Their wide eyes meet mine in the mirror on their first day in prison, as they submit themselves reluctantly from the barber's chair. After years of lowlights, these are the highlights of my life so far. It shows me the way, what I want to do forever. This is my place, and if they ever make me leave it, I'll have to find a way of getting back somehow. Or I'll recreate it somewhere else.